Today we're going to talk about failure to act. When we're talking about the three elements that establish criminal liability, we mentioned criminal act, a criminal intent, and then concurrence. If the first one of those is a criminal act, what happens if you don't act? That's called an omission. Are you on the hook if you don't act? I mean, the first element is action, right? You don't take an action, can you be found criminally liable? And the answer is yes, you can if the law has already established a legal duty to take action. There are some situations where your failure to take action can get you into trouble. Now, in legal parlance, we call that omission. When you omit, when you fail to act, it's an omission. And there are some situations where you can get in trouble for not acting, because sometimes the law requires you to do things, and therefore failure to do them can get you into trouble. Just as if they told you not to do something and you did it. What's an omission that could get you in trouble? There's selective service. You're supposed to sign up for selective service, the draft. There's child abuse. If you fail to report child abuse, you could be held legally liable for your failure to report it. If you fail to pay your taxes, you have a duty to file a tax return every year. And if you don't file the return, or if you don't report earnings that you've made, you could be hit with an omission. A lot of people seem to get that one wrong. Penn State University got into a scandal. Its head coach, this guy Sandusky, Jerry Sandusky, he was a very successful football coach. Turns out he was committing terrible acts against children. And there were reports, there were rumors. And the problem was they didn't turn him in. People found out about it. They might have said something to their boss. Their boss might have said something to their boss. But nobody really took action before he had committed this crime against many kids. That failure to report turned out to be something that triggered liability. An omission can get you in trouble. It can trigger criminal liability. So be careful, know when you're required to do something, and of course, do your duty, comply with the law.